Recording. All right, folks. Welcome to um, Dale Scott. She's going to be presenting tonight on the IN.FORM program. If you have questions, please put those questions in the questions panel over to it should be on your right, and those will show up. As those show up, what we'll do is we'll try to answer what I can, and then the ones that we can't answer, we'll have Dale help us with, okay? We've already got some questions populating in there. Fantastic. And with no further ado, Dale, tell us about today's agenda.
All right, this is great. And Vic, I'm just going to ask you if you would, let's just advance the slides and we'll just get right on with it.
Okay.
Thank you. So the agenda today, we all want to know, and let's just think about this. Why are we here? So we want you to help you to get outside your box, okay? We want to reestablish your why. We'll take a second here just to say there was some reason that you decided to be an informed coach at some point in time. Maybe it was last week, maybe it was a year ago. But we want to reestablish that. So my question to you is, what was your why when you first became an informed coach? Do you still have that same passion? Well, there might be some obstacles that you have come against, so we're going to smash those obstacles tonight.
Yes.
We're going to talk about how to get started, and then also we'll even talk about, is there income potential? And there certainly is, and we want to share that with you. So let's just move right on to the next slide, and we'll get right in on it. So, Vic, I'm going to let you do that if you would.
Sure.
And I think Vic mentioned, just go ahead and type your questions and your comments, and we will get to them. So
Okay.
when we said, why are we here? Well, we're here to help you activate a successful and fulfilling informed business. So just be thinking, what are you doing about it right now? So we'll scoot forward. We want to help activate. Okay? And Vic, if you'll
There's a little bit of a
advance
delay.
that slide.
Let's talk about reestablishing your why.
Yeah, so let's reestablish your why. One of the things that you might decide, that maybe I'm trying to decide what to do about how much time it takes. And if we're going to reestablish our why, we have to decide, do I have a passion? Do you have an underlying passion to succeed? So if you do, what is that passion? So maybe you want to help people achieve optimal health. Maybe you want to help others maintain their health. What about improving your own health? Maybe you want to earn some extra money and you want to work for yourself, but maybe not by yourself. So these are some things that I want you to ponder as we move forward to reestablish your why. If you have a passion for this, if you have a passion to help people, a passion to get well yourself, you're going to hear me say some things like, are you on the IN.FORM program? Are you doing it? Have you made your own lifestyle change? Are you excited about what it's doing in your life? And because if you're not doing it, how do you know how to encourage others to do it? So we'll just move forward there. And we'll also talk about your dreams. If we're going to reestablish that why, what are your dreams? A dream without a plan is just a dream. So we want to put legs on that dream. We want to help us, and I hope you're taking notes, because my question to you is, what would you do with an extra $500 a month, maybe even $1,000? So jot down this. If you had, no matter what your income is right now, what if you had an extra $500 or $1,000 a month? Would you buy a new car? Maybe you'd go on a vacation. That might be a house payment for some, or some may be facing college tuition, and you could help your children with that.
Mm-hmm.
So what about transforming the lives of people? How would that make you feel? What about when the people come up and say, thank you so much, you helped change my life forever. You helped change my health. Imagine them thanking you for helping them achieve their financial goals. So really the IN.FORM is a tool. It is a tool, or it's an avenue, let's just say, that we can use to help other people. And, you know, Zig Ziglar said, when we help enough people get what they want, then guess what happens? Whatever we dreamed about comes back to us.
Mm-hmm.
So how about the freedom to work on your schedule anytime and anywhere you wanted? So these are all possibilities. The people that are successful with the IN.FORM, that's what we're doing. So as we move forward here, I want you to think about that. So we're reestablishing that why. And now, Vic, if you'll scoot forward.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about, you know, what that's holding you back. You know, we're going to talk about that. Be honest with yourself. So just, you know, jot down, you know, what is holding me back. We're going to talk about how do I approach others and how to get started.
Okay.
So are we able to move forward, Vic?
Yeah, we did. Find it, post it, commit to it is the.
Oh, okay. So mine didn't move.
That's what.
So, okay.
I'll just kind of suggest what it is on.
There we go.
Here's just
okay.
For some reason.
So when you reestablish your why, what is it? You want to find out what that why is. Now jot it down. When you jot it down, then there's a portion of your brain that starts gravitating to that. And then you want to commit to it. So why did you want to start in the first place? We mentioned that. And now you're going to jot that down, and then you're going to put it somewhere that you see frequently. Take a look at it every day, review it, and commit to it every day. And I said this earlier today, in my bathroom, on my mirror, I am dedicated, I am determined, and I am disciplined. And it's been there for over a year as a daily reminder. And yes, I have cleaned my mirror, but I put it back there. So when you decide and you jot it down, what is that passion? Write it down, put it in a place that you're going to see it, and then share it with somebody that you trust. Vic and I are here tonight to help ourselves, hold ourselves accountable to that. You know what? If you had a passion in the beginning, we want to reignite that. So we encourage you to start believing. Belief doesn't come from success. Success comes from belief. Mm-hmm. So let's just go ahead and we'll move forward.
We're going to smash some
obstacles. I'm sorry, what, Vic?
We're going to smash some obstacles.
Let's do. So we're going to smash the obstacles. Some of you might even say that you don't have time. You know, my question is, there was a survey that Nature Sunshine did and asked IN.FORM coaches. And you'll see there on your screen, this is what the IN.FORM coaches said that the obstacles were. They didn't have the time. They don't know how to approach people. They don't know how to start. So that's what we're going to start smashing those things. So let's scoot. And if you say you don't have time, let me just ask you, in a work week, so however many hours there are in a day, let's just say for 5 days, 6 days, what about 7 days? You don't have the time, but can you bite off little chunks? Can you spend an hour a day just to, on your business? Let's say, you know, that's 7 hours a week. And when you are a coach, as you're learning and the things that you want to put in, the ideas that you have, you want to put them in your journals or in your manuals, because you want to do it once and then you want to be able to duplicate that. So it is not, I hope that this is going to get you out of your box. You don't have to study 7 hours a week in order to do an IN.FORM group or a one-on-one. You are and you don't have to use everything that is in every chapter or every module. You don't have to do that. So you'll see here, every schedule has time for important passions. So what are some of your passions? You know, there are certain things that you are making sure that you have time to do. We want tonight to just remember KISS. We want to keep it simple, sweetheart. You can go to the presentations that are already in the coach's portal. There's a lot of them. They're free resources. You just go to naturesunshine.com/coach. You're going to see, you can get the webinars, you can get the handouts, you'll see different highlights that you can use. You know, you're not in this by yourself. You have a lot of free resources, and just take little chunks. Keep in mind, you are the professional. You're the health coach. People are coming to you, and I'm just going to say this probably more than once. My question to you all is, are you on the program yourself? If not, you cannot sell something that you don't believe in. So I challenge you to make sure you're doing that. And when you get in that module and just take a look at every chapter and just find out one or two keywords, maybe circle them, highlight them, and just know in the table of contents, that's going to be your buzzwords. You just know you're going to talk about those two things. You don't have to do the whole 10 pages or 8 pages, whatever it is. You know, you want to break it down. If it's simple for you and you make it simple for the people, they are coming to be educated, but they're also coming to be so that they will be held accountable. They want to do that. And then another thing that I believe is a help to you, share creative, healthy shakes. Now, you do not have to be a cook. You don't have to figure out a lot of menus and all this to entertain people. If your passion is to be a cook and your group loves that, and that's why they come, well, that's great. You'll learn different healthy recipes. But if not, don't let that be a deal breaker. Because you just want to make a healthy shake. Let them know how simple it is, because when they leave you, you want to make it so simple that they can't wait to begin the next morning. And then when they come back the next week, they're going to give you positive affirmations and testimonies. So now another thing to be thinking about, we do this together. So partner with somebody so that you can grow and you learn together and you help each other. But guess what? Find somebody in your group. Now be thinking, if you're jotting down names and jotting down ideas, be thinking of somebody that you might be able to duplicate yourself, and you'll just watch your business grow and you're going to help someone else. So let's scoot on to the next one.
Okay.
Keep in mind, you do not have to use all the materials for each module. Now, another obstacle, mastering your time. We talked about that. Let's scoot on to the next, going the other direction, I think. So we talked about simply, approaching. How do we make approaching easy? Sometimes it's really difficult for us to walk up to somebody and say, hey, listen, you're 30 pounds overweight. Would you like to meet with me? That's not a way to build your business. So an idea would be, this is what I do. I just talk to people about referrals. I have a little handout that just shows some pictures, and it just says, what about concerns with blood pressure, blood sugar, triglycerides, the HDL, LDL levels, maybe your waistline or weight? You know anybody that has issues with that? I would love to visit with them. Would you give me a referral? Could you give me a couple of names? Now, when you go and talk to those people, you can just let them know that their friend or family member mentioned that they might have a concern. But here is the key, what we have with the IN.FORM. We have a clinically studied, it is scientifically studied, clinically proven. A patent is pending right now. Now, what that does is, see, this everybody that's listening, we're unique. You have strengths, you have weaknesses. I have strengths and I have weaknesses. The clinical part of this and the scientific part of this lets us be in any arena with the background that we need. Some people don't care about that at all. They just said, Susie got off blood pressure medicine and she lost 50 pounds. That's enough for them. But you might have somebody in the professional realm that wants to know, what are the papers to prove this? Nature Sunshine has given that to us. So you can let the people know, say, listen, we have, a group or a class, workshop, whatever you want to call it, because it's yours. Is there any reason you wouldn't want to begin taking charge of your health? And we're going to start on that date. So see what we're doing. We're smashing these obstacles, and as we move forward, remember it's about duplicating. And just invite them, invite them. And keep in mind, it's a good thing to know that we all have a circle of influence of 270 people. So what that means is the people that you talk to, each of them knows 270 people. And not that they're going to give you that many names, but now let's break it down. What about 10% of that? How would you like to have 27 customers that you did not have before? So as we're making the approaching easy, if they say, yes, that does sound like something I would like to do, get them signed up right then. Just let them know, when you're going to have your class or your workshop. Get them signed up and let them get started on the IN.FORM kit. Now, some people will say, oh, no. So always be prepared. There's not one question that you don't want to be prepared for. And it's okay to say, I don't know. But when they say, oh, no, and you ask them, well, why wouldn't you want to make a change in your life? They might say, I've never heard of the IN.FORM. And that's when you're going to share the clinical study support. You're going, the little trifold handouts that we have, it's going to give you information that makes you the expert. But let's say a lot of them are going to say it's too expensive. I make sure people understand. I don't wait for them to tell me. I make sure they understand. In the kit is 60 meals. So 60 meal money is actually grocery money. It is not supplement money. It's groceries. So how much are you spending on a 60 meals for a month? Now, one of the things I want to interject right here, if you're not doing this yourself, you don't know that it sustains you and it gives you satisfaction if you haven't done it. So right now you're still trying to use it with a mindset. But here's what we need to do. Let the program, let the products work in us. It's going to change the brain, change the gut, change your thinking. And another thing, when we talk about how much it is, then on an average, people will spend $84 a month on coffee. Energy drinks, $60. Alcohol, $150. Sleep medication, $100. Junk food, $100. Allergy products, $50. These are things that when you get that gut right, see, and if you have satisfaction, you're not going to crave those same things. And if you get the gut right, you're going to see that allergies are going to be leaving. So it's more than just a weight loss. It is a way to reach people that you've never reached before. Maybe you're an herbalist and you have clients. Maybe you are a practitioner. You have clients. Maybe you're a retail store and people come in for one thing or another thing. What this does is this lets you play in any arena and you are the professional. So we want to get rid of those obstacles. Now, another way to make approaching easy and effortless, use the weight loss assessment in the coach's portal. So the weight loss assessment, and you go to naturesunshine.com/coach, you scroll down to the resources, You scroll on down after you click in that, and it's forms and handouts, I think. Weight loss assessments. You can print them off. And before we had the whole IN.FORM program, we used this, and I used to use this weekly for people. Because what happens, we're assuming that a person is already on the kit. If they are, every week they should have success. There should be something successful. You're on the kit yourself now by this time, so you know that. If you're not on it and you don't know it, you cannot expect people to come to you. So let's assume that we're all on the kit, we're getting success, but the weight loss assessment in my group, and we have a group every Monday night, and we have not missed except for holidays since a year ago last January. And we have people, one lady is off of 4 insulin shots a day, plus being off of metformin, down 27 pounds. Another lady is down 87 pounds, off of 7 meds, and she's been with us for a year, excited to do that. So you have the tools. There is, just know that you're not going to let people fail because we have the tools. If one thing is not working, there is a reason. That's when you use the assessment. So you also will have access to information on how our program, being clinically tested, is superior. You have the proof of that to most other popular programs. Now, another thing that one coach does, she invites people to a seminar, a free seminar. She goes to the page that has about what the minerals the body needs for optimal health. She copies it off. She just talks about that, lets them understand that they didn't even know minerals were in their food, and let them understand what that is, show for cravings. And, if they have a craving of some kind, there's a mineral that is deficient. And so she educates them. That gives her the opportunity and saying, guess what? Thursday evening, come, because we're going to find out more than what I've told you for now. So the IN.FORM has solutions. And it's not just a by guess and a by golly. It is solutions. Now, another way is invite them to see their metabolic age on the BioTracker. You do not have to give them all of the numbers because you want to let them understand what metabolic age means. So, metabolically, is your metabolism working like a 40-year-old or a 90-year-old? And when they see that, then that gives you opportunity to give them the next handout about your class or your workshop, and with the invitation that you want to bring them in. So this is a way to make approaching easier. What we did at a school fair, we set up a booth and we had the BioTracker. We took address labels and printed out my metabolic age is, and then people would come and they gave us tickets, and they had 2 tickets, and we let them get on the BioTracker. We didn't go through all the numbers. We just gave them the metabolic age. And then you can also hand them the tear-off sheet that shows a place for all the other numbers and say, you know what, Thursday night you be sure and come, and you're going to find out all of these other numbers and what they should be, what's in the healthy range. We're going to help you make a lifestyle change. So, Vic, let's just scoot on now. And we'll get to let them have some questions here in a minute. So we've talked about the weight loss assessment and about what the minerals do. And so now then we're going to talk, we're waiting on that next slide, I think, but I want to talk about how do I get started.
Got it.
So, okay. So how do I get started? Well, some things you want to make sure that where you're going to hold your next group, or begin your group. So some of the ways that you can do this is you can contact the Chamber of Commerce in your area, ask them places that they can, that you can hold meetings reasonably with small fee or free, and they can send that to you. They will email to you. And I did that with a city, and they emailed me 70 different places and told me the prices and the phone numbers. So they didn't have the prices. But another thing is you can also hold meetings in libraries if they're educational. You cannot sell product, but the things that you can do is you can give them the education, give them your card, and that way they can contact you for the order and so forth. So people respect you more when you're in it with them. So you've got to become a walking testimonial. Are you a product of the product? We're going to say that several times. And if you are, they're going to say, well, what are you doing? You see, we've had classes, workshops, and I've had people come. One lady, she'd lost 11 pounds in 10 days. Now, that is very highly unlikely, but it does happen. And so when she came, and so we were talking about, their successes, and she said, I've lost 11 pounds. And immediately, everybody, it didn't matter what I said, they wanted to listen to her. What did you do? They would ask. And she said, well, I just did what she told me. See, because it's all in the manuals. It's all in the bio tracker. So the Chamber of Commerce is a good place to go to find out. Another thing is there are restaurants that will let you, if you have a meal at their place, they will let you have a meeting room. And I know that you're going to have a shake and you want to have it prepared, and that's great. But it would not hurt one night a week for people to have salads. If that helps you to have a free meeting room. Another one, talk to your bank. Whoever you bank with, many times they will have a room that they will allow their customers to have as an education. So we've talked about the location. We've talked about being the product of the product. Now then, we want you to set your date for your meeting. And then commit to it. So when we're doing this, I encourage you to write down 7 names while we're talking here. Why? Some is not a number, and soon is not a time. So if you'll write down 7, that's a good, healthy number, because these are 7 people you're going to talk to, and when are you going to do it? You might invite them. But keeping in mind, if you invite 7 or you speak to 7, it may be that not all 7 will come. That gives you a good number, and it helps you. When you get started, just getting out of the gate, that's the hardest part, because you're duplicating yourself. You're making your notes. You're going to do the same thing each time, and you'll learn other things that you want to bring in. But in the meantime, these 7 people, so what if 4 of them come? Remember, those 4 know 270 people each, and it's higher success rate if they bring somebody, and you can encourage that. So let's just go ahead and let's move to the next one.
Okay.
And so, let's just see. I don't know if you're there or not, Vic.
I am. Set daily goals and commit to them. Is that it? Number 4?
Okay. All right. So now then, what we want to take a look at is, let's talk about goals. Let's be a goal setter. So, reach for the moon. Reach for the moon. Set a daily goal. So on these daily goals, and you want to commit. You want to commit to doing them also. So we've already talked about carving out 1 hour a day for business building. Make a list of contacts each week that you're going to contact. We've already written down 7 names. Just take a few each day for a whole week, let's just talk about 15 or 20, because remember, how are you going to do that? When you talk to those 7, you're going to ask them, listen, do you have any friends that I could contact for you? Because it'll be fun for you all to come at the same time. And I have a slot open for Thursday night or Saturday morning, whatever it is. Or one-on-one. One-on-one is a success. Don't hold back because you don't have a big group. So then you can start feeding them the product information. Then ask them when you can follow up to answer questions. I'll give you an example. So I met with a lady Saturday morning, got her started, got her on the bio tracker, got her started with product, and I asked her, she's an hour away, and I said, okay, so when is a good time this week that I can contact you to make sure, because I want to know what's working and what's not working. Remember, if it's not, I have the assessment. And so I have the next tool. Don't be afraid to contact them thinking that they're not having results. There is no problem that we don't have an answer for. So she said, well, now Thursday would be okay. I said, okay, what time? She said, 4:30 is good for me. So I just took my phone immediately. I put her phone number in. I put in my calendar, and I'm going to have a reminder with her phone number to contact her Thursday at 4:30. And we're going to go over what's working, what's not. And if she tells me, well, you know, this is pretty good, but I'm having trouble with this, that assessment is what I'm going to go over with her. But I don't expect that there is a problem. Now, on that assessment, I want to be sure to tell you, if in a group setting, let's just say we're having a workshop, and so we said, okay, what's your successes this week? And so people are saying, oh, I did this, I did that, my muscle's up. Somebody says, I've lost 2 pounds. That's all great. Someone said, you know, my numbers don't look so great. So I will take that assessment right then, and I will go over that assessment with that particular person. It's working for the others. And we know that they're not, you know, they're not doing something that, but just with knowing the answers here, we can help that person. Now, just to save you, you know, from disaster, let's say you have 5 people and you send it home. You send that assessment home and tell everybody to do it. Next week when they come, this is what's going to happen. 2 will have done it. Out of 5 people, 3 didn't. But the 3 want to know about it. So now then they want to go over it in the group. So the 2 people that did it are a little irritated. So save yourself that irritation. Go over it with everybody and use part of your time. You don't have to cover 12 pages or 8 pages in your hour. One of the things I do, we start at 6 o'clock promptly. We're finished at 7:15 promptly. Now, if they want to stay a little longer, that's okay. But, and if that's, you know, that's your evening that you might want to do, you know, that's all going to be fine. But you don't, if it wears you out that you're there for 4 hours, you're not going to look forward to that every week. So I tell them up front from 6 to 7:15. I don't throw them out, but at 7:15, I thank them very much. We've already had their homework. They know what they're doing, and we are ready to start moving to the next thing. So we're going to follow up. We mentioned that. Ask them for referrals. We've mentioned that. Be sure they understand that a breakfast option is a good, shakes would be a great breakfast option. And then you want to make sure that let everybody get on the bio tracker. You know, let them do that. And just let them be curious enough to know what they can do. Remember, it's a lifestyle change. So the other thing is, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, what am I going to charge? So-and-so charges, you know, $400. Somebody else did it for free, and some did, you know, for $99. So what I want to say to that is take a look at the housing market in your area, and if your area's housing market is $800,000, believe me, they are going to be able to pay more than if it's $70,000. So do your homework, see where you are, and it's all success because we're going to move forward here right now, and you're going to find out that you're building testimonials, but we also, it's an opportunity for you to become a manager and build managers. So there's certain meeting guidelines. Are you on that product of the product? So my question is, are you doing 3 protein meals, 2 protein shakes, 6 vegetables, 5 ounces of greens, 1 fruit or 1 legume maximum, 5 oils / fats? Now, one guy, and he was 40-some pounds down, and he said, so we were talking, how did you do the fats? He said, now we know that we've got super omegas, we know we've got butter, we know those things. This is what this guy said. I'm just saying it because it's simple. He said, I didn't know how I was going to do that, so I just started doing 5 shots of olive oil every day. Now, some people will gag on that, but what's 47 pounds worth? So now then, we're getting started. So remember, you're just going to highlight 1 or 2 words in each table of contents that you're going to talk about. Module 1 is you're teaching people the core. The core is the lifestyle. The core is how you can eat the rest of your life. A lot of people say, well, how long do I have to do this before I can? And I say, before you can what? Go back to eating the same way that got you in trouble? So we've got to see, is it worth it? What is it worth to me? So module 1, we're educating about gut health. And metabolic syndrome, gut health is in the news. We're ahead of the curve on it. We have that scientific and clinical. Module 2 is goal setting. So ask them, where do they want to be in 90 days? And I use this throughout the time. I do it more than just once. I might do it about 5, in less than 5. And then I might do it again, 11 or 12. And I'll ask people, okay, we're almost to 13 weeks. Do you want to quit? Where do you want to be in 90 days? And I have a lot of people that have been coming on a regular basis, bringing other people now, because other people see them, they see their results, they're excited. So that would be module 2. Now let's move to module 3. As we talk about module 3, the importance here is, getting rid of toxins. So lose weight by losing toxicity. Nature's Sunshine is a cleansing company. Those of you that are coaches, that maybe you've been herbalists for a long time, you know this. You know this like the back of your hand. If you don't know it, if you're brand new, you have it on week 3. And so, one of the reasons it's at week 3, because it's time for them to order again, and they'll understand because you're going to show them the way to get rid of toxins. We have the Purify, we have the Clean Start, we have Dieter's Cleanse, and we also have the Essential Oils Purity, and you bring oils into that, and it's a fun lesson. It's a fun class. Module 4 is educating the importance of protein. So we had this last night. And so what we did was I just said, okay, module 4 is where we are. The homework was they were supposed to read it. So I didn't go through a lot of it. I said, what did you learn? Now, I'd already read it, and I'd highlighted things I wanted to say. But I know what I know. I wanted to see and let them have opportunity to share with each other, what did you learn about protein? They said, hey, I learned that muscles, I have to have protein for muscles, even hair and nails. Okay. And we learned about the body composition. Always before we just think about weight, pounds. This shows you how it's distributed. And they're learning this, and that's module 4. Module 5 now is starting to repair the heart health. And this is an opportunity because you'll have people there with high blood pressure, heart disease. And if their waistline is over 35 and they're a woman, or over 40 and a man, their body is begging them to take care of their gut so their gut can help their heart. You have all of that. You are the expert. You are the health coach. Module 6 is teaching how to master your food environment. And look again, let's remind them, where do you want to be in 90 days? We don't have to just do it once. You know, let them keep putting that in the forefront. And we'll scoot on to Module 7 here. But where do they want to be? And now on the dark side of sugar. This is something that gives you opportunity to find out that you don't have to crave anymore. When people are on the IN.FORM kit and they're doing 1 probiotic, 11, and 1 berberine with every meal, by the 5th week, they do not have cravings again, period. It does, they are gone. Now, if you, let's just say, you know, if you say, well, I can't take berberine because I have low blood sugar, you know, well, guess what? You've got chromium. You can bring chromium into that program. It's on your weight loss assessment sheet. And so you've got the chromium, but the berberine and the probiotics reestablish the gut health. And another thing that I love doing here, I will take a little tiny, like 1/3 of a dram bottle, put 5 drops of cinnamon oil in it, and give it to everybody. And their homework that week is to smell the cinnamon oil 4 times a day. I don't tell them why. When they come back, I will ask them, what did you find out about that? What did it do for you? Every single one says, oh my gosh, I didn't crave sugar. I did not have cravings, because cinnamon does that. It takes away the cravings of starches and sugar. Now, Module 8 and 9, I'm just going to say the emotional world of eating and also dealing with stress. This, you know, you don't have to wait till the 8th week. You can have a seminar. You can invite people for a free meeting and let them know about dealing with stress. That's a topic, you know, and you're going to educate them. And so, you know, here's what happens. When stress happens, cortisol comes up. When cortisol comes up, in the brain is a neurotransmitter hormone called leptin. It comes down. When that leptin comes down, I am not satisfied anymore, and I'm going to gorge. I'm going to cram it. And, you know, so both of these chapters bring in essential oils. Lots of fun. People love it. And then the glandular on week 10, same deal. Could it be your thyroid? Some people will, you know, you've got a church group, you've got Lions Club, men's meetings, women's club. You know, you can take some of these topics. You don't just have to be staying in a box. Take some of these topics, become a spokesperson in your circle of influence. It has everything there. It shows about the thyroid, and you've got the weight assessment sheet. You know, just know you have the tools, and you do not have to wait till week 10 to talk about the thyroid. You can bring them in, you know, just bring them in to let them understand, because so many people are already on thyroid medication. So Module 11, time to replenish. Now, see, we want to start thinking, what am I going to do after this 13 weeks? What is a healthy lifestyle to me? I always ask them what is working and what is not. I am not afraid to do that, because if it is not working, they're not doing it. They're either not doing it, or I didn't give them the weight loss assessment. And it's not all about weight loss. It's about emotions. It's about digestion. And you'll see that on there. So, Vic, let's go ahead and scoot to the next one.
Okay.
Module 12 and 13. Thank you. The importance of social networks. Now, we learn here. We have family. We have friends. People go out and they eat. They go to the wrong places for us, you know, tempting places. Not that it's the wrong place. It's just temptation. So people are learning, and they've learned by now that if they're, you know, they want to have family time. You don't want to get rid of your family. So, but if they'll do one of the meal replacements as a snack, it doesn't have to be, oh, I have to do this and I can't eat with them. You drink one of those shakes on your way or before you go. It takes 20 minutes for the brain to get the message that the stomach is satisfied. So you drink that, you go wherever you're going to be going, and I promise you, your choices will be better. And then we wanted to say, what about these goals? How are you coming on the goals? And Module 13, what are you most proud of, and where do you want to go from here? What do you want to do in the next 90 days? So let's just scoot on. Okay. Where do I want to be? Okay. Now, I did mention income potential. So, if you have 5 people, now let's assume, remember, you're on it yourself, because how do you know if it works or not? And what if you tried it for 5 days and you never did it again? Is that a fair try? No. So if you have 5 people, the QV is 200 per kit. So you're at 1,000 QV and you're doing it yourself. That makes you a manager. But look, if you are legacy, if you sign the people up legacy, you have 5 people, that's $400 cash in your pocket. If it's classic, they're both great plans. If it's classic, $300 cash in your pocket. So now what if, we're talking, and that is every time you bring in 5 new people. Well, it can be 3 new people and it's not 400, but it's on your way to that 5 people. So if 5 people a month to stay on the kit, that keeps you a manager. You're moving towards being a manager. It keeps you at the manager level. You're going to be nurturing other managers. And now your Nature Sunshine business is going to blossom, and they will become friends for life. Many of our very best friends, my husband and I, we did not even know before Nature Sunshine. So this is an opportunity, see? So I want us to get this. This is an opportunity to bring people into healing and health that maybe would never come in otherwise. So now let's just scoot forward, Vic.
Okay.
IN.FORM gives us opportunity to change lives, transform lives. We can change the world one life at a time, and also to give someone their self-esteem back. I'll tell you about a lady named Jeannie. She was going to lose her job. This was 1.5 years ago. If she did not get pounds off, and they went by the BMI at her job. We know that's our education teaches that's not the best, but that was her measurement that she had that brought her to the IN.FORM. She 57 pounds down. She kept her job. I invited her to come talk to another one of our groups, and I said, Jeannie, will you just tell us, is it worth it? What is it to you? What worked for you and what didn't? And she started telling them. She said, when I first started, it was about my job. I could not lose my job. I didn't think I could afford the products, but I also could not afford to lose my job. And when I realized it's 60 meals of that is grocery money, it was doable for me. And she said, it was about my job when I started. And she started to cry. And she said, but now it's about me. She said, I have my self-esteem back. I feel good about me. I feel good that I have a lifestyle that I never knew that I could enjoy this lifestyle. So let's move on. And then as we are coming here, I want us to take a look. Remember, first a flicker. What was it? What was your passion? Why did you even become a coach whenever you did? Was it a flicker or was it a flame? But first it's a flicker. So we want our flicker burning. Now, then it becomes a flame and it becomes stronger and stronger. Then it becomes a fire. And when we are on fire, there's no stopping us. It is your passion. You get to do that. This is an opportunity that you have, and it's a lifetime of health. Lifetime of health, a lifetime of healing. And I would encourage each of you, my question to you is, if you could only see the vision, you are in a place that you can change the world and you can get healthier yourself. You can be financially. By the way, I do want to be sure and say, as you are a manager and you grow managers, that $500 to $1,000 a month extra becomes more, and you can earn a car allowance. So just catch the vision, and let's just all say that I am disciplined, I am determined, and I am dedicated. So, Vic?
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thanks, Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! That was a lot to take in. We have a couple questions, but I thought it'd be more interesting actually just to have a few of you, if you found something very interesting or very compelling about Dale's discussion tonight, will you just note it in the question section, like something that you can use tomorrow with your Inform group, or maybe something that's going to get you out of your maybe you're in a bit of a ditch in respect to Inform. You haven't had a chance to get back in the groove, so to speak. If you have something that's useful, throw it in the questions. In the meantime, I'm going to have Dale answer a couple questions from our members here that were listening in. Jan says, super presentation, loved it. Great. She also asked,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. On behalf of everybody, do you wait till you are a product of the product before setting your date for your class? How do you address that issue? So I guess that meaning maybe you haven't begun the Inform program, or maybe this is the one I see more often, is somebody says, you know what, I'm overweight, or I'm not at my optimal health. How can I be a coach or an expert, at this?
Well, yes, and that's a really, I think that is a struggle for people. I think it stops them right in their tracks. But let me just say what, you can start tomorrow. You can start it tomorrow. If you've already written down, when am I going to call those 7 people? So if you're going to do it within the week, I will tell you, if you do what you are supposed to do within 3 days, you're going to feel thinner at the stomach. You are going to feel more positive. You already, this is what I tell people, within 5 to 7 days, if you don't see something, then you're doing something wrong. What would be wrong? You take the weight assessment and you find out. So just get started, get them called and say, listen, I am starting this myself. I started it 3 days ago. I already have, more hope, or whatever it is. You're going to see something, and just get started on it, because if you don't, you will never start. Just do it.
All right. So this is the bigger challenge, Dale. Anybody who's currently running a class out there, raise your hand. If you're running an Inform group, and not just a one-on-one, but a group, go ahead and please be honest. Let's see how many hands we get up. And if you're not, that's okay. Okay, not too many hands came up just now, just a handful. No pun intended. All right, how many people are ready to start a class in the next 2 weeks? Raise your hand. All right, I like that. A bunch more hands went up. Good.
Good.
So can I make a recommendation for those of you who had the confidence to raise your hands and realize, you know what, I'm gonna follow through with this, and you saw the vision in Dale's presentation. Reach out to your Nature Sunshine regional guy or gal. So for Joe Getz, it would be me. I'm not sure where the rest of you folks are from, but if you have a specific interest, we'll help you be that accountability partner. We'll help you work through the challenges that you may be coming up against. And of course, you have the ability to do this on your own, but you know what? It's always easier to do it with others. And remember that participant, somebody who's working along in your program, that could be your next assistant or your next coach. Keep that in mind. So thank you for having the confidence to share that, folks. I appreciate that. And real quickly, we had a couple more questions come up. Let me see here. Okay, this is for you, Dale. She says, I recently had a client on the BioTracker who is a diabetic, overweight with digestive health issues and a few other health issues. She is 59 years old, but had a metabolic age of 40. What would be the reason why her age was so low?
Well, I would take a look at her fat percent to see what it is. She might be overweight, but she may have a lot of muscle. So one of the things I always teach is when the water percent comes up, the fat percent goes down. When fat percent goes down, muscle mass comes up and pounds go off. So the metabolic age actually changes according to that fat percent. So, I would look at all of the numbers to see what numbers good and what needs to change.
Okay. Okay, hopefully that helps. Okay, let's see. What else do we have out here? So Cynthia asks, please discuss how to get certified with the online classes. Well, how do you do that, Dale?
Well, the blessing of it is now, you can go to Nature Sunshine and you can go to the coaches portal and it will ask you, Vic, you might even say where it is.
Yeah.
If you want to become certified. Yeah.
But he needs to write this down. IN.FORM.NSP.com. In fact, I wonder if I can write on it. IN.FORM NSP. Oh, you guys aren't going to be able to understand my my poor handwriting. NSP. You know what I'm trying to write here. .com. All right, that's not very. Okay, well, I won't use that tool again. I ran out of paper. InformNSP.com is where you want to go. Please take your own notes. My notes are horrible. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll erase that. Put you out of your sorrow here. Let's see. So again, InformNSP.com is where you'll go to learn about the program. It's also where we send our participants. We have one portal for everything. So you'll need to log in to get where you need to go. But there's a question earlier also about the health assessment. Where do you find the health assessment? There's a health assessment on the front page of the Nature Sunshine website. So if you wanted to do that physical health assessment, you go to naturesunshine.com and it's going to be one of those buttons right there on the front page. Now, if you want to be an IN.FORM coach or you want to get certified or you want to be a participant, you go to InformNSP.com. All right? So just to carry on here. Oh, we have a couple of people going to Cincinnati. They're getting excited. So maybe there'll be some people becoming coaches at Cincinnati this year. We're going to have our Inspire Summit in just a few days, literally, just around the corner.
And that's offered on the Sunday afterwards, I believe, right, Vic?
I believe so. Yeah. So this is a great opportunity to get in the thick of things. So let me see if I can. Drawings. Okay. Trying to go to the next page here. Okay. Was there any other questions? Let's see here. Anybody else out there? I'm waiting for. Oh, somebody wants to know if you're going to be there at Sunday's class, Dale.
I will be there, but I am not going to be there Sunday. I will be at the summit. But I hope that people that are catching the vision, I want them to find me. I want them to find me when they're there, and I want to congratulate them, and I want them to tell me, what change they made from this time forward, August 29th.
Okay, sounds good. So I think, Sheila, we just asked Dale your question about the woman who was 59 years old but had a metabolic age of 40, and she commented about the water, looking at the hydration. What were the other things you mentioned for that patient? I think Sheila might have been off there.
So the muscle mass, I would take a look at the muscle, the water, and the fat percent, and you have the sheet inside your participant's manual that shows what the numbers should be. And of course, it doesn't show the muscle mass because that's in pounds, not percent. But I would look to see if her water is good. And a woman needs to be 45 to 60%.
Okay.
to see if the water is, so there will always be something she can improve, because if her metabolic age, her metabolism is functioning, but she may need cleansing. See, chapter 3, it might be toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't want to get caught up on just one number. Usually people's metabolic age is, when they first start, is more than their chronological age. But it may not be, but that doesn't mean all their other numbers are where they're supposed to be. So I would have her do the assessment, the weight loss assessment, to see what, just do the numbers on that to see if her cleansing and digestion, and I'm going to say I think it's probably going to be higher, one of her high numbers. One thing that I do when I use that assessment, I make sure that people circle the 2 highest numbers and work on 2 things at a time.
Okay, that's a good point. So, because sometimes that assessment lights up all over the place. Where do you start? Start with the top 2, you said? The things that are...
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I do.
So hopefully that gives you the guidance there. I think she got her question answered. Thank you so much.
Oh, good.
Well,
Thank
let's
you.
wind things up here. We've got an August group promo, or hopefully there'll be a September group promo, but we don't know for sure. So make sure you take advantage of this one while it's still around. August 2017. It ends in just a few days, because we only have a few days left in August. But you can still start a group with 5 or more new participants and receive $50 in product credit. If you reach 500 QV in weight management product sales in that group, you can get a total product credit of 150. And if you double that to 1,000 QV, you can get a product credit of 250. So that's almost 25% back in product credit based on 1,000 QV. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, just one day left, exactly. It's coming up quick. You have to move quick here. But I'm, again, the idea is we want to get people out there starting your groups, and we want to make things easy, because these product credit type promos can help to allay some of the costs of getting shakes together for everybody. It's also winding up here. It's not too late to get on your social media and do your reset breakfast. This is that promotion that allows you to start your day with high quality Nature's Sunshine protein, a probiotic, and Purify, which is one of my favorite. It's kind of that drink midday for me. I like to take it either midday or in the evening. But the extra fiber, it's nice because it helps me to move things through. And I don't always eat as inform friendly as I should, so this makes me feel a little less guilty. But what I probably should be doing is having more salads, Dale, right? Thanks for making me feel.
There you go. You said it, Vic, not me.
Yeah, I did. You're right. It's kind of a confessional here. So again, this is going to be ending in just a day or so. You want to join these crazy people here. This is our team back in Nature's Sunshine. Can you recognize everybody? Terry, Shandy, Jan, Brian Wall, and nefarious Scott Terry over there on the right. They're putting their shakers where their mouth is, literally. So don't forget to share on social and win prizes. So it's not too late to do that. So thank you again for joining us tonight. The one thing I got from tonight is technology can be difficult. It took us, we had a little bit of a couple bumps before the program started. But remember, if that's something that's your fear, that you can't use the PowerPoint presentations, or you're nervous about hooking it up to a TV or a projector, just use the manuals. I've seen some of the best classes, the best groups, just reading through the manuals. Something about the tactile nature of them and everybody sharing. It's almost like a support group, and that's what you're going to experience if you haven't had an opportunity to do your first Inform group, or you just need to get going and get it going again. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Dale, thank you so much for your insights.
My pleasure, and thank you. God bless you all.
God bless you all, and stay safe and out of harm's way tonight. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.